Welcome to BCIS 5378. My name is Dr. Schuessler, and I wanted to take an opportunity to kind of introduce you to our Blackboard shell. Every professor is a little bit different, and so the layout of their courses is different from course to course or from professor to professor. So hopefully by doing this, it'll make your life a little bit easier. It should help you to be able to find things, be able to navigate our site a little bit more effectively. Once it's done, our homepage should look something pretty similar to this. The red section up here will be gone. You'll see these two videos right here. The one I'm creating right now. A little bit later in the week, I'll work on the introductions and syllabus. I'll try to get that one posted hopefully Thursday. And then that section will be completely done. On the homepage, I also include a Twitter feed. You feel free to follow me, or you can just log into Blackboard here and take a look there. I've been creating other videos today, so I tweeted that one out. I usually post things that are related to higher education, related to networking, or related to security. At the bottom of our homepage, we have information about the help desk, netiquette, and computer use policy. If you're having some sort of an issue, most of the time the problems are related to your browser or to Java. But if you can't get it figured out, contact the help desk. They're very helpful. They can remote into your machine. They can take care of most of your problems. If this is the first online class that you've had, I would recommend taking the student training. And lastly, you can check for configuring your computer for Blackboard there to make sure everything on your system is up to snuff. Netiquette, there's nothing, just jaw-dropping there. Basically, be professional. You're dealing with peers, you're dealing with professors. If you are unsure about how to interact in an online environment, go ahead and click on the policy and take a look at that. And lastly, the computer use policy. Even though you may be logging in on your own personal machine or a work machine, keep in mind you're logging into Blackboard, which is part of Tarleton State University. So as a result, act like you're on a public machine. Our navigation structure is over here to the left. If you want to get back to this homepage, simply click on Home. I'm going to go ahead and switch over real quick to Student View so it looks more like what you're likely to see on your end right this particular moment in time. But if you want to get back to this homepage, simply click on Home. The second video will cover these next two, the syllabus and the schedule. These are Google Docs. When you click on them, they'll open up into a separate tab. Lessons and lectures. I don't have a lot of content for this class just yet. There's a couple of kind of generic ones, but I post those and someday hope to kind of flesh that out a little bit more. As for your grades, where they're coming from this section right here, the deliverables. So we have assessments, homework, and exams, and I didn't actually want to click on that just yet. Under assessments, you'll take a look here. We've got everything already posted. So that's something I want you to be aware of. All the quizzes, all the assessments are already posted out there. The assessments come in the form of various labs, and we'll talk about those a little bit more here in just a second, but I wanted to talk about the pretest first. Take the pretest, regardless of how well you do or how poorly you do, you're going to get your 5 points. So do the best that you can. It's a way for me to kind of judge what your incoming skills are as they relate to Linux coming into the class. You'll take something that's very similar to it at the end of the semester. It's the same deal. Do the best that you can, but regardless of how you perform, you're going to get your 5 points. And that allows me to see how far you've come over the course of the semester. In both cases, I want you to do the very best that you can because I want to get a good, accurate reading. All tests are protected using the password TEST, all lowercase. It's clearly not meant to hide anything or anything like that. It's really meant to prevent you from accidentally starting an assessment before you're ready. Some students have trouble figuring out how to see their grades once a quiz has closed. In other words, it's past its due date and time. Then you should be able to see not only your score, but the questions and answers and all those kinds of things. That's a quick little video that a student put together a few semesters back on how to do that if you have a problem. The next quiz, AS0, is a quiz over the syllabus itself. And this is just really a way to ensure that you've actually read the syllabus. So again, it's not meant to trick you. Read through the syllabus. If you have any questions, ask those questions. Print it out and have it ready for you when you take the quiz, or have it open in a second monitor or on a second monitor so that you can refer to it during the quiz. It is timed, so you don't have a lot of time to look up answers, but if you've read through it, you should have an idea of where everything is. So that is that. The next part are homework assignments. Basically, they're various assessments in which you're basically going to be creating a virtual machine on your own computer and working through various labs over the course of the semester. This very first one is easy. You're basically installing virtual machine software. Should be very straightforward and easy for you to do. There's an estimated amount of time that it should take. For this very first one, you're really just downloading the software and installing it. You're not setting up the operating system or anything like that just yet. That comes in the next lab. But there's pretty detailed instructions, and the submission that what you submit for your homework assignment is links to screen images that you've created. And so basically I'll walk you through the process here to install it, all that kind of stuff. And then I tell you to, as we get down here, to take certain screenshots. So this is kind of the deliverable. When you look through the steps, I've told you specifically where I want you to take a screenshot, back up in here in various places, and then I kind of sum that up here at the very bottom, and I tell you exactly what to name it, all of those kinds of things. I want you to save those files in the folder that you've created at the very beginning of the semester as part of homework 0, and it's basically my way of checking to see that you've gone through this whole process. The next step is installing the software, the actual operating system itself, and I'm going to kind of walk you through that process. And then we start doing different things within Linux. So that is pretty much it for assessments. As far as homework, that actually is in test out, and at least most of it's in test out. As far as that homework folder that you've shared, that you were creating, that I just referred to a minute ago, this is that assignment. You'll go through here, you'll create that shared folder in a Google Drive. If you have a Google account, great, create a folder following our naming convention here and share that with me, giving me edit rights to it. Do not make me the owner of that file or of that folder. Follow the naming conventions, complete the form, all those kinds of things. If you have any questions, certainly send me a message. If I click on that, I can open the rubric here and I can see exactly how I'm going to be assessed on this assignment. So take a look at that so you know how you're being assessed. There's a separate video that talks about submitting links. The way you submit a link right here, you would type in homework 0, for example, highlight that, click there, paste your link in there, set it to open in a new frame, and click insert. So it's really pretty straightforward, pretty easy. If you try doing it down here, it's not going to work. Let's see what else. The remaining stuff is all, the remaining homework assignments are all in test out. And this is a simulated environment. I give you a lot more detail about it right here in this video here. And so you'll be able to take a look at that. Looks like I need to work on my link there. I'll take care of that here in just a second. The pertinent information that you need, and then the various assignments using Linux, etc. Exams, this window, the exams are, with the exception of the final exam, everything is already posted and ready to go. You really need to work through all your test out stuff first before you do these, but these exams are pretty long because there's a lot of different sections to these practice exams. So, try to get through that test out stuff as quickly as you can, and then go ahead and start working on these practice exams. You can take them as many times as you want up until they're due, at which point that's the grade that I take. So redo work. If you don't have 100%, redo it until you get 100%. The final exam is in test out. It's the Linux Pro certification exam, and it won't open until the final exam window at the end of the semester. So refer to the schedule for that. The next group is communications. If you have first off, I send out announcements once a week. I try to do that on Mondays after I've completed the grading for all my classes. So take a look at that. I try to keep everybody on the same page using that. I would note that it sends out an email to your email address as well. Please do not respond to that email. If you have a question, come into Blackboard and send me a message through course messages. I don't respond to course-related emails through my regular email account because I want everything that's course-related to be sent to me here within Blackboard. If you do have a question, you need a job reference or something like that, certainly feel free to send me a regular email. I don't have any problem with that. But if it's course-related, I need it to stay self-contained in our Blackboard shell. Again, you're going to do that here through course messages. Works pretty similar to email, all those kinds of things. Discussion boards are right here. If you would like to introduce yourself, certainly feel free to do so there. I've already introduced myself there, so you can read about me. I always like to know a little bit about my professors. So certainly feel free to kind of get acquainted there. Particularly in test out, periodically you'll run across some kind of glitch in test out. And it's usually not really a glitch. It's something that doesn't seem quite intuitive. Post those questions right here. It's a perfect place to do it. If you're having an issue, chances are pretty good another student has either already figured it out or is having the same issue. So let's use that space to try to address those problems. If it's specifically grade related or something like that, do not post it to that public forum. I can't respond to those in that manner. The next option under the communications group is for virtual office hours. I try to do these each Tuesday from 11 to 12. Sometimes I get called out for a meeting or something like that, and so I can't be there the whole time, or I'll miss it, something like that. But if you want to meet virtually, we can certainly do it this way. We can also schedule other times to be able to do it. But that way we can kind of see each other. We can share screens. I can see what you're working on. You can see what I'm doing, things like that. And it's just a Google Hangout. And right now my system's taxed pretty well, so it's a little slow coming up. Another way of communicating is through grades. I try to get grades posted to you pretty quickly, and so you can certainly take a look through there and see as grades are being returned back to you what those look like, how you're doing. If you're not seeing grades populated pretty quickly, send me a message, because like I said, I try to get grades back to you the Monday following the Sunday in which things are due. So the last group is supplemental material. I try to provided slides to the text. To be honest with you, they're not the best slides in the world. They're because of the type of textbook that we're using, but I do make those available to you there, so you can certainly feel free to use those. I also like to post funny videos. You can take a look at that if you want. If you have something that you think is relevant, if it's related to technology, it's related to higher education in some way, and it's relevant to this course, send it to me. I'll take a look, and if I can, I'll certainly share it with the other students. But you can kind of scroll through there at your leisure and enjoy. I'm also on a variety of different social media sites, my own personal website, a Google Plus community, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, and some recommended books that I've read and that I think are worthy of recommending. And then I've got a learning style link here, and I don't have many respondents just yet, but you can take a look and kind of get an idea of the type of learning style that we have as a class. We tend to be observational, at least at this point. You like external stimuli, simulations, or demonstrations and diagrams. That's great. This test out environment is awesome for that. So are the labs. So that should really work well for what I'm seeing so far in our class. As far as personality, we tend to be pretty open for the most part, and lack neuroticism. So that's probably a good thing. Later on at the end of the semester, I'll also have another one that assesses essentially your feelings about my online class. It's something that I've recently started trying to do and incorporate into my Blackboard shell. So that is our Blackboard shell in a nutshell. Again, if you want to get back to the home page, simply click on home and go from there. If you have any questions, send me a message. Follow me on Twitter at H.Schuessler PhD. And until next time, I will see you later. Take care.